know it. Once again, it's that time. That time to celebrate the happiness that is Sunday morning with your host, PoGokeRo, and your co-host, Captain Pones. Yes, there it is. PoGokeRo and then Captain Pones. There we go. I'm so bad at this. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
It's early. Good morning.
Yeah, it's early, but it's a happy Sunday morning. Like, the air is crisp.
It is. It's nice and foggy here. It's chilly. You can tell that it's summer anymore. You can tell it. It's about to get that time change also here pretty soon.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm like up for that time change, but you know, that's the way it is now.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Hey. So I'm at the train station. I'm at the train station.
I'm gonna work my way over there.
All right, I'm gonna empty my bags here. But yeah, man. What are you up to? What have you been up to?
Not much. It's been a rough week.
How so?
Oh, Lily passed.
Oh no.
Yeah, no more than it's been pretty rough.
Oh geez, I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough on everybody around. We got through it. She was just in a bad place. Something happened, so like she was really anemic, so she had like no energy at all. Like literally no energy. She just laid there. I had to pick her up to go to the bathroom and all that. So we were like, nah, if she can't walk, you know, it's obviously not a good place.
Yeah, I know. No, she can't move. Something's.
So that's what we said. So we just decided we just put her down on like Thursday morning or Thursday night. So yeah, it's been rough. Other than that, just work.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I have 2 cats now. I'm like, I don't know if that's such a good idea to do that. to get more pets.
Oh,
yeah.
So we were saying we're like everybody loves having pets, but it's always the worst part right here.
Yeah. Huh. Sunday morning, all right. So much for my happy like intro, right? Damn, that must have hurt, dude. I'm sorry. Wow, I had no idea.
Good.
Oh, that was so terrible. Wow, tone deaf.
Good.
Oh, jeez. That was comical almost in its badness. Damn. Wow.
Don't worry. You did not know. It's fine.
Well, oh man, so like, yeah, it's been a rough week for everyone. I mean, I'm okay, right? I'm cool, but it's, you know, like, have you been following the news? Like, I know you haven't, right? You've been embroiled in your own stuff.
Yeah,
so
we have.
I guess you don't have much energy left over.
Yeah, we haven't done much this week. Literally, I didn't even go to work all week.
Wait, I'm sorry?
So we didn't even go. We didn't even go to work all week. We were just like, oh, it's just been rough. But yeah, I haven't been keeping up on nothing.
Well, okay. So let me fill you in on what's been going on. I think on Wednesday it was discovered that somebody sent a whole bunch of pipe bombs.
Oh yeah.
To like a whole bunch of people.
That, yeah.
Like all liberal people, liberal leaders. Like, and George Soros, right? And then, so that's what happened then. Then, before that, some guy was crazy and he got a gun and he went and tried to go into a black church and murder everyone in the black church. But it was locked. He couldn't get in. So he left to a convenience store where there are 2 customers in line to...
I saw that too. I just saw it the other day where you trying to get at what the guy said at the end.
Yeah.
That was horrible. When I heard that, I was like, you, sir, are horrible people. I was like, that is the fucking worst thing you could ever say. This guy's sitting here killing people and you're going to say that?
Yeah. So So
sit
there.
and I think, like, I can't believe that's the type of world that I live in, where someone's
No, wait. Okay, wait. So there's the pipe bombs. There's this guy on like just on a hateful rampage, murderous rampage, terrorist rampage, and then do you know what happened in Pittsburgh yesterday morning?
something with the synagogue. I didn't see it. I got home yesterday from work and I saw, like, the Yahoo, like, the pictures and the headline, but I didn't go into it.
Yeah, no, man. Some dude, some like Nazi dude went in and into the synagogue when it was packed and just started capping people, started murdering people all over the place. And his website's all about blaming George Soros. Okay, so that's two people blaming George Soros, right? Then you have on Fox News, you have like Lou Dobbs or somebody, one of their dudes on Fox News, is saying that the caravan that's coming up from South Central America,
Yeah.
is funded by George Soros. Like, this is all lies and conspiracy, but it's being broadcast on Fox News. So like, and I mean, this is like Hitler stuff, man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, I'm being alarmist for a reason.
It's pretty bad when freaking you start having all these shootings and like that.
Have you voted?
It's just to the point.
Have you voted?
No.
No. It's been a rough week, I know. Okay, I get it, man. But do you have early voting there?
Oh no, I don't know. I don't think so. It's not till November, right?
I don't know. I don't know how the deal is in California, but in Oregon, I voted like last week. The ballot came in the mail. I researched everything and I dropped it in the mail and it was done. I'm finished. I helped my friend get registered and then help him with his first ballot. That was cool. That was like made me feel good. And
yeah, no, we wait and go to the polling, or I do.
Yeah, you should like try to get Oregon style voting in California. It's so much better.
Polling place. I like to get there early. I like to stand in line.
But see, yeah, but a lot of people don't like. I hate to stand in line. I don't want to have to leave my house to go to stand in line with a bunch of strangers.
No, I don't want to. I mean, honestly, too, like when I say stand in line, I'm telling you, I'm only standing in line with like 3 or 4 other people. That's why I go early in the morning. I just kind of get out in the morning, I go there, I stand in line, I get my ballot, I do it, and I leave,
Okay, but you're lucky, right? You have
yeah, the polling place is literally freaking 30 seconds away from my house, so.
Yeah. So yeah, it's easy for you, right? So, but remember, in states controlled by the Confederacy,
they make it harder.
They make it super hard, gigantic lines. Right? And then they want to make it even harder by making you bring the right kind of ID, which is worse, right?
Yeah, which I heard that there's a big problem with last time also.
Yeah. Well, okay. Look over in Georgia, right? Georgia's a super important state. Like, it needs to flip to blue. But hold on. I can't listen to this. Hold on. All right. It needs to flip to blue. But the guy who's running for governor is also the Secretary of State who manages the election. So his office, under his direction, purged a whole bunch of voters off the voting rolls, just because he could, right? And then some people sued and made them give up the addresses and the names of the people who they purged. So they fought it in court and they finally lost. They had to give up the addresses that they purged. And it turns out that more than half of the addresses they purged were still good. So like, they're trying, the guy who's running for governor is trying to rig the election in his favor because he's also the guy who controls the election. Oh, you're right. Did you come here? You wrecked my crops, man.
Oh, I thought you're supposed. How did I wreck them? You're supposed to harvest them.
Yeah, I guess, but man, it takes forever.
Aha!
I get tired of it. I like just looking at them. They're
I was
nice.
gonna say, I know what you're saying. Like I do the same thing when
And like,
I like to leave it there just to have it.
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty full up on stuff. I mean, I do need more potatoes.
Don't worry,
but,
I won't do it again.
yeah, because yeah, you can't just plant monocrop. You gotta like plant everything.
Alright. You got 5 minutes and I won't.
But all right, whatever. We'll do that later. Yeah, I'll dump all this in there. So yeah, let me show you around. Let me show the digs like, real quick. Dump, 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 dump. Okay, come down here, sir. Oh, wait, first let me show you my outfit for Halloween. Check me out. Woo, spooky.
Great.
Ow.
I don't like. Oh, you scared me.
Yeah.
To kill you.
I'm gonna like possess your soul. Be careful.
Nice.
All right.
I am for Halloween.
Yeah, you're Steve, like you always are.
I have an apple.
So you're Adam, is what you're saying. But you're not naked. All right. Hey, let's all head down here. Did I show you my melon farm? No, I haven't.
Hey. I thought you said this was a family show.
What?
You said this was a family show.
Yeah.
I don't want to see your melon farm.
No, you're gonna see my melons.
Oh, whoa, come on.
Look, come check out my melons. This is the melon farm, the replacement. Remember the wither blew up the other one?
Yeah, I blew up the other one.
So this one's a little not as efficient, but it's less laggy because it uses water instead of that minecart.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and it's also
I like
lower.
how you just throw water down there and then it just freaking flows. It's like,
Yeah. So the only way they can grow is toward the piston. When it grows toward the piston, it pops the thing up here, trips the wire, fires off the pistons, and it tries to push it over to the water stream. Sometimes it doesn't make it. Like you can see that one right there, doesn't make it.
Oh yeah, the watermelon.
Yeah, that guy's just bumming. He's just gonna be a bum. He's just gonna bummed out. That's too bad for him. But I'm not concerned, right? Because that's like an AFK thing. Like look how efficient I've got without even trying. And I made this on Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, I remember the other one.
Yeah. And then over here, I kind of fixed the stable and got one horse in. I haven't named the horse yet, but it's a nice horse.
Oh, I didn't like that horse. When I walked here, he tried to freaking buck me.
No, he's a great horse. This horse is fast. It jumps really high. I can jump up too. Oh, I can jump up.
See,
Yeah.
That dude's definitely freaking big for walking. He's gonna turn him.
I can jump 3. Check this out. 1, 2, 3. This horse is great. This is an amazing horse.
Not better than Mr. Ed.
Not better than what?
Mr. Ed.
I can't hear you.
That he's not better than Mr. Ed.
That's true. He doesn't really say much.
Exactly.
So
You can have a conversation while you ride, yo.
So what we should do is look for. Oh wait. Also, I found the Nether Star, right? After you logged off when we killed the Nether, I was cleaning up and I found the Nether Star. It didn't despawn, luckily.
So what does that do?
So I need to.
And that was from the Wither, right?
Yeah, I need to get a bunch of stuff, and you can make a beacon out of him. And then you put the beacon at the top of a pyramid made of iron, and then that makes like you can power up for like 5 minutes or something.
What?
Yeah.
See that?
So, but the thing is that was, I mean, we have to go mining, and I don't want to go mining right now. I mean, I guess we could go mining, but the land under here, I think I mined it all out. I have to go someplace new for mining. So let me show you the project I've been working on. And we are going to head over to Pocky Point. Ow, ow.
You gotta watch out, because if you smack him on the butt, he'll kick you.
The horse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It is
I'll
no
kick you.
joke. It is no joke. I was doing that the other day. We were playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and I was freaking sitting there, and I did something. Oh, I walked up.
Pocky Point.
I walked up, and I got out. And I walked over to this dude. There's this dude on the side of the road, and he was like, "Hey, can you help me, mister?" So I was like, "All right." I stopped my horse, and I got off the horse, and I walked up to him. And like, just as I walked up to him, this fool pulled out a gun, and he's like, "All right, sucker, give me all your money." So like, I was quick enough, and I like pulled out my gun and like grabbed him in the head and like pulled him down, and I shot him. And it was funny because like what I did is I double tapped the square button. So what I did is I pulled grabbed his head, pulled it towards my body, and I shot him in the head. And then after I did that, since I double tapped it, his horse was right next to me, so I smacked the horse on the back of the ass, like right after I shot him, and the horse just freaking kicked the heck out of me, and I went like flying, dude, and I was dead. It was like the best thing ever. It's such a good game. Have you seen it?
No, but I'm not really. Yeah, I don't really play consoles.
Oh, I know you don't, but this one's so good. It'll be on. This one will be on PC in a little bit.
Nah, I didn't do it. Yeah. Okay.
Such a good story. And it's a western. You don't get a lot of them.
So
where am I going?
There's the Tree of Life. So yeah, this guy in Pittsburgh killed 11 people in a synagogue. So basically, he's anti-Semitic. He's anti-Jewish people. He's blaming George Soros for all this. And then the conspiracy is that George Soros is paying for this migrant caravan to come up here. And then Donald Trump has said that the migrant caravan is a bunch of Middle Easterners or something, like a bunch of ISIS people were in there. He just made this stuff up, and his followers believe it, man. That's what I'm telling you.
Of course, because he's telling them.
And but do you see the chain? Like Fox News is basically state media propaganda. Like,
I don't know how they can like put that stuff out there, like, and just say that stuff.
Okay. Remember the last time, right before we ended the show, and you talked to me, you're all like incredulous, being like, you're like, the Russians, really? The Russians? Are you still like that?
As far as everything goes, of course. I mean,
really, you are really.
I honestly think that freaking. I mean, is it possible? Sure. I mean, who knows? I mean, I know, as far as everything goes, everybody's infighting. Nobody gets along with anybody anymore. Everybody's always, everybody's so like, just like into their like, I don't know. Everybody just, it seems to me like lately, like everybody's in this power struggle, and it just kind of seems like that's what it is, and everybody kind of wants to be like, do the, like Trump, and then, the Putin thing, like they all want to do the, hey, I'm stronger than you are, bully type thing, and then I don't know. I
what? No, dude, that Trump and Putin. I mean,
yeah, but I understand what you're saying. And
I'm saying like, Trump and Putin are buddies. That Putin owns Trump.
And I see that, but like the stuff that I see is I just have a deep distrust in all types of government. It's just how it is. It's just the way it is, and like I said, wherever you get your news from, I just have a hard. I just see the news that you're getting. Probably it'd be like, well, that could be the same as the like Fox News. Like I already know Fox News.
But so you don't think
like Republican? I already know that.
Wait, so you think where I get my news is?
I don't think it is, but I'm saying there's a damn good chance that it could be, because these people,
Why? Why is there a good chance it could be? Because that's the same thing as saying
you don't want the Republicans to be in anymore, so you're gonna go ahead and do whatever they're gonna go ahead and do whatever they can to kind of try to push the to nudge it forward.
Wait, what?
Let's just say these people don't want Republicans in office anymore, so they're gonna do what they can to kind of nudge it forward and do the same about the information. They're going to put the information out first without it being, without having too much, information. Or they're going to be like, well, we got this information from this person who's credible, but then that person, is also, I don't know. Like I said, I just have a deep distrust in everybody because, you know,
How
I
can
just
you
see
know
everybody-
anything then?
That, exactly, you don't, and that's what I'm saying. You don't, and that's why. And I'm always like that. I'm super like highly just like
So you don't. So
I always have always like
so you don't. Yeah. So you don't have it. So man, that must be like okay. So you don't.
As far as government goes, because I feel that people, I feel that and that's with the
With
power structure.
government? What do you mean with government? Why only with government? Why not corporations too?
Well, corporations, same thing. Anybody, anything that has to do with money and power, people kind of get that thing to where after a while they're like, well, I need more, you know.
Okay, but do you know the difference
I wonder why
between?
these sheep are following
kind-
me to that freaking weed in my head.
Yeah. Okay, so do you know the difference between governments between democracy, like open government, and
I have
like
no idea about anything like that.
Okay,
I don't
so-
look at I just all I know is I have a highly. I have
yeah.
a
Let me tell you, dude.
opinion.
Let me tell you, because I've been to I've been to these other countries. Like, all right. So in America, right, our government is pretty open. We get to vote for who we want. No one gets to see who we vote for, right? And anyone can run for office. Like as long as you're a citizen, you can run for office, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In China, they're a totalitarian government, which means like your vote doesn't really matter. They have a leader for life. They said, hey, this guy is gonna be leader forever until he dies. Like what you say or think matters because it needs to be what we say it is. If it
Now,
isn't,
is it his family too that goes after he goes? The
I
one
don't
guy?
know. We're gonna find out, huh?
So how long has he been in power for, though?
I don't know. I don't know. I have to go check it out. But yeah, he's been in there for a while.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Like, once he goes, is it like, does he have family? I have no idea about the dude.
Yeah, no, I don't know either. But the idea is that, like, here, remember, okay, when I first got there to China, and I arrived in Shanghai, I went through this like on a boat, right? I went through this tunnel to go through immigration. They let me through. I was out in the street. So I was like, this Japanese guy that I met and this Irish guy that I met, we were hanging out and we decided to get a hostel, and this guy had one in mind. He had a piece of paper written down. So we got a cab, and someone had money, Chinese money somehow. So that paid for it to get us to this place, this hostel, where people spoke English and they had a computer with internet. So I got on the computer with the internet, and the first thing I did is I looked up Tiananmen Square. Do you know Tiananmen Square?
Did it come up?
Do you know Tiananmen Square?
Yeah, but did it come up over there?
No,
I
it
know
didn't
they-
come up. It was blocked.
Yeah, I was gonna say they restrict all that stuff. I
Yeah,
thought-
and then I kept trying, and then like, then the screen changed and said, "Yep, you can't be doing this, buddy."
Oh, they're like, nope. Too
And
many
then-
tries.
And then I accidentally broke their computer
How'd you accidentally break it?
because I tried to break off
Oh, no.
the sensorware, and I couldn't do it. Yeah. So so you know what? That's what I found out. I can fix English computers. I cannot fix Japanese or Chinese computers.
Do you have anything to eat? I don't have anything.
Oh yeah.
Wondering what.
Wow. Okay. So the thing is that their citizens, they don't have any idea. What they think doesn't matter. What they believe, what they want doesn't matter.
Now, this is the thing. Do you really think that they don't know?
Yeah. I was there.
Really? 100% they don't know?
So after I left China, I was in Laos, and I had to kind of escape because I was doing things I
think
probably.
you were telling me about a lot of the stuff that you did. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I was in Laos, and I had I was working at this bar with a Chinese girlfriend who spoke English,
Okay.
and she was telling me how great it was in China, how she can't wait to go back, how China's been disrespected by the world by Europe for so long. America's okay, America back then, right? Because this was what 2007. So back
Yeah.
then she's like, oh yeah, America's okay, you know, but Europe, grrr. And then, so I'm sure it's different now, because yeah, she was super patriotic about China. She sang to me a Chinese poem. It was awesome. She was great. She was really nice, but we fought a lot. Anyways.
She had no idea about any of the events that happened.
Yeah, not really. Nope, and didn't really care.
So when you told her, what do you mean didn't care? She was just like, what? Like.
And she's like,
Shrugged it off.
Shrugged it off. Like it just didn't absorb. Like how you do when you talk to a Red Hat.
Yeah,
you know.
like.
Oh, okay. So here, let me tell you. Let's go up here. Let me show you what I'm working on before I get into my story. Let's go up this way. It's really rough. I'm not, you know, I'm still. It's a work in progress for sure.
Oh,
so,
I destroyed something up here earlier.
Yeah, I can destroy you.
I
No.
eradicated it. I was like,
All right. Here, up here. I'm working on it. Ta-da. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut out this solid part and make it glass too. Yeah, well, yeah, glass is great. I mean, what a great architectural material. If only it were awesomely strong like it is in Minecraft. So, so let me tell you my story. Let me get some coffee and tell you my story. So, yesterday was the last Saturday market.
yeah. What do you mean last one before?
Of the season. No more
Yeah,
for the season.
It's gonna get cold, all that now.
Huh?
Because it's gonna get cold.
Cold and rainy, yeah.
Oh.
So
Like,
I went.
Rain's coming.
So I went down there. And on the corner was like a family and a whole bunch of people. Waving American flags, and with a sign that says "A vote for red is a vote for America." And I'm like, I'm going there for my weekly like anti-Trump protest, and I'm freaking out.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And they're like, rah 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 rah, and I'm like, because the synagogue thing just went down. I'm like, don't you know what happened at the synagogue? And you guys are out here waving your flag? Are you nuts? Like, that synagogue dude is a right winger. What are you doing? And nope. They wouldn't have it. The one person said no, that guy was a registered Democrat. I'm like, no, that's totally incorrect. That's a lie. How can you believe that? But she totally believed it. I could not tell her any different. Like, it didn't matter what I said. Like, in her mind, it was already set. The whole thing was a Soros-funded, like, false flag event. And when they say Soros, that's code word for Jewish. When Trump says Soros, George Soros, do you know him?
No, I know who you're talking about. I don't, know a lot about him, but I know you.
He's a Jewish guy. And so when they say George Soros, they're talking about like a Jewish conspiracy to take over like a Nazi. This is what Nazis believe, right? Nazis believe Jews have a conspiracy to take over the world. So that's their scapegoat theory, right? So that's why they hate Jews. They think Jews are going to take over the world. So they point to George Soros and says, oh, this rich Jew with his money uses his money to fund all these conspiracy things, and that's what they believe. And there's no reason to it, right? It's not like you can tell them any proof or you can show them like receipts or anything, because it's not about reason. It's about their emotion. Like it's a virus. That's what I'm saying. That's why.
They don't want to be wrong either. You don't want to sit here and be like, well, this thing that I freaking believed in for so long is wrong, So you kind of gotta enforce your point, whether it's wrong or right.
No, that's no excuse. Because what's more important, your ego or the truth?
Obviously, their ego, because they don't want to be wrong. I mean,
no one wants to be wrong. It hurts. It hurts to be wrong. No one wants to be wrong. but the truth is more important. That's the way it is.
Well, of course it is, but I mean, these people don't see it that way, and that's why they do it like
Well,
that.
no, they believe that what they see is the truth. But the thing is,
Yeah,
is that
exactly.
they don't have any basis for
And that's
for
the thing is,
doing
it's the
that.
type of thing, and and it happens with a lot of stuff, not just politics, but it's, you know, where someone again has been
Yeah.
believing in something for so long, and you tell them, they're like, no, like that can't be right, you know, because if you sit here, you know, you've been believing in this thing for like 30 years, you know, like you're a 50-year-old, you know, and you know, 30, 40 years you've been believing in something, and find out that, you know, it's just a piece of shit, and you know, all this other stuff, like, or you know, just something's just not your same view. It's just hard to take. Everybody
Yeah,
does.
I understand that it's. Yeah, I know. I do. I appreciate that it's difficult, but it has to be done.
Well,
It has to. It
does,
can't be
but-
tolerated. That's what I'm saying. It's a virus. It cannot
It
be
shouldn't
tolerated.
tolerated.
So even though you can have compassion for these people who hold these racist views, at the same time you cannot allow their portal to continue to express.
Well, yeah, because they spread it to other people, and
Yeah,
those people start
yes.
believing, and it's the same thing, and then they have kids, or they go around people and that are influenced by it, and they just keep spreading it. It just keeps going.
Yes, it's a virus.
Over.
Ow. So it's opposite of what our country is about.
Well, of course.
So another thing that's opposite of what our country is about is denying the vote to citizens. So what's happening in Georgia is systemic voter suppression. They're denying the vote to citizens in order for a tiny group to maintain power.
Yeah.
I mean, that's called the Confederacy, man. That's not America. That's you can look at that and say, yeah, that's within America, the shell of America. Inside of it, there is a malignant tumor of the Confederacy. That's Georgia right now.
Well, you would figure that. I mean, I don't know. Is it? You figure most of like the middle of the country, aren't they more like Republican white people, like in the middle of the country?
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I posted this on my Facebook. So do you know who Nate Silver is? Do you know him?
Yeah. Come on,
No.
no. Is he whatchamacallit?
He's a statistician.
Oh, I thought he was Paul Gold's brother.
No. He's a statistician, and he's like really good at calling a lot of the races, because he used a different kind of model, a meta model, where he took a bunch of different he took existing I can't statistics, no, not statistics, surveys. He took a bunch of surveys, polls, different ones, and then he weighted them differently, and then came with the meta polls, right? And with a meta statistic. And then with that meta statistic, he made his own predictions about various races, and he was really, really good at it. So the New York Times hired him. And he said, recently, that if you track this last poll, the 2016, if only men voted in America, there's a pretty significant bias toward conservative, the Republicans. If only women voted, there's a slight bias toward liberals. And if only non-white people voted, there's a strong bias towards the Democrats. So, yeah, you got to look at the Republicans as less of a political party and more like a Confederate party. It's not really about conservatism. It's about like tearing down the Constitution, because they don't respect the Constitution at all. They just want power. I like your dance. That's cool.
I'm doing a dance, but I'm doing is wiping my butt all over your floors in this place.
That's cool.
Crouching down, you see me?
I see you're putting your scent everywhere. Yeah, it's good,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Place
I
your
can do
scent.
it.
I can't figure out how to crouch. Oh, there it is.
It's the shift button.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, I've already marked this place up, yo.
Yeah, I'm adding my scent.
You're all greased up. It's over.
Okay.
Sliding all over the floor.
Um, you dirty dog.
Look at how fast I am now. Look at that.
Uh, oh. Here, I want that one there. Okay. I think this is all glass too.
Why do you have to have a distrust with any freaking thing political?
Okay, but the thing is that how do
political is
you
the
have your beliefs? What are your beliefs? Because then you can turn that distrust on yourself. What are your beliefs?
That's again like as far as like what goes, like beliefs, like I just feel like just everybody should just have a fair shot at everything, And obviously that's not the case, but that's just what I feel.
Okay, so at the end of the day, it's going to come down to one political action where it's not just of like a whatever political belief. At the end of the day, it's going to come to the point where you have to put a vote in, and your vote is a concrete action. It's not just wishy-washy, this way, that way. It's bam. So what camp are you in? That's the deal.
I vote Democrat because I know that Democrat's probably more for someone like who, a Democrat is for Republicans Republicans are more money oriented, I would say, right? That's how I always kind of learned it. They're more money oriented, more.
So how do you know that?
Just that's what I heard when I was a kid, and you see what I'm saying?
Like, see, so when you're a kid. But the thing is that if you heard it when you're a kid, how do you know that's any more truthful than what you hear now when you're an adult, when you can use your own brain to figure it out? Rather than what you heard when you're a kid.
And again, that's just like I said, like it's something that's what I hear, and I'm sure like a lot of most people do. It's like, oh, that's just kind of what I go with because I don't want to sit here and take the time to look into it. It's like
it's a lot of energy, a lot of work.
Stuff is important, but yeah, like I have stuff that I want to do, and then in my time off, I'm sitting here and I'm like, do I really want to take my time off and freaking, look into like this? I mean, and no disrespect to anybody that does it, but it's just like it's just not for me. That's just like someone.
It's a lot of work.
Just doing something that they don't, and then doing something that you don't like. Just I don't know.
No. I'm with you, man. I understand.
But I mean, it's just kind of just the way that I was brought up. Republicans are more of the people that are more well put off, I guess, and have money and are better off, and like Democrats are more people oriented. People that have less money, stuff like that.
So like, okay, so you kind of have like the basis of a class consciousness, because like at the end of the day, like the only real difference between humans is not their skin or religion or who they like to have sex with, but how much money they have.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I just always saw it as in, not how much. I mean, I just always saw it as the Republicans. The Republicans would always do that because the Republicans would sit here and give the break to the people.
Let me help you.
The Republicans would.
Did I kill you?
Yeah, you did beat me up.
Oh no! I was trying to get the skeleton.
To people that have the money, I guess that's how it would come by. Republicans would give breaks to people that have the money because they kind of give back, and then they kind of just go back and forth with that, and then the Democrats kind of help out, as people that have less money, I guess.
All right, so then why would there be so many people voting for Republicans if they only help rich people? Are there that many rich people?
No. Nowadays it's different. Nowadays, I mean, as far as it goes, it's more of a scared like type thing, like people are scared that they're losing their jobs to this and that, and they kind of need someone to blame. But like, I don't know. It's just like I definitely don't think there's that many rich people, and that's why the white people die. I definitely think that the white people or the people that are voting Republican are voting Republican because of something that they're being told that's not true now.
Now, how is it that and they don't?
Because I don't know. See, I find myself being a very observant person, so I just kind of look around and I just kind of see stuff. But I mean, the stuff that I hear just doesn't make sense. And again, like I said, I'm not a stupid person, and again, this is where my freaking like I don't trust anybody. So you see like this stuff coming out, like I don't know, just people talking bad about other people. Like I see the you know, talking, let's say the caravan that's coming over. All right, the caravan's coming over where, you know, all they do is talk about, you know, stop the caravan, this and that, this and that. And like, not once do you ever hear them talk about, you know, well, let's try to find out why the caravan's coming or something like that, you know?
Yes, yes.
Like it's just it's always something to kind of scare the people, to kind of get them to think of their way, and then once that happens, you know, like they don't do it logically, you know, like instead of sitting here saying let's stop this caravan, these fucking, look at all these people that are coming over here, oh my god, it's like, well, why don't you find out why they're coming over here? You know, why don't you find out if there's something you can do to stop this from keep happening? But it never happens once. It's just this happens. They have a heart attack and flip out, and you know, they do whatever they have to do to kind of stop it, and then that's it. Then it happens again. Like, not once do they ever say, oh, maybe we should try to fix this problem that's happening over and over again, right?
Yes, exactly.
They
like,
say it's a horrible thing, and that these people are taking the jobs, and then everybody sees it, and they're like, well, look at these people. This has to be true. You know what I mean? Look at, there's thousands of people trying to come in. I don't have a job now, and then they try to blame their shortcomings or whatever they're having trouble with on someone else. Right? So they sit there and they try to find the scapegoat. You know, they're like, you know what? I don't have a job. I haven't had a job for this long. You know, like, oh my god. You know, and then they see stuff like that, and they're like, well, maybe that's the reason why. Maybe this person's telling me.
Hey, let's come down here. Let's go mining. That's easy.
I don't know. Like I said, I just always have this. I always have a distrust with people when it deals with power structures like that. Just because I feel that once you get too much power, you always want more, and then it always builds and builds.
Take the minecart, please. So, well, that's why you have democracy, right? Democracy makes it so that the power is
what, two parties, right? So you have
it's not two parties. It's when you have power diluted in the people, right? You have to have the vote. You have to vote for people to wield power.
Yeah.
So the power is not stuck with one person. It's stuck with the people. You have to be able to get people energized enough to go vote for you. You see what I mean? The power is diffuse. It's not concentrated in any one place.
Yeah, I see that.
So the opposite of that would be totalitarianism, where it's like we don't care what the people want. We have all the power concentrated in our hands, and you won't ever take it. Ah ha ha.
But see, and then it just comes down to the point where, like, and this is where, like what gets me, like you say all this, and I'm like, yeah, that's right, like, you know, that it's all the people, so that's why we vote and all that. But then you have these things where you're saying, like, what they're doing in Georgia, right?
Uh-huh.
And like how they're trying to, like how is it that's okay to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that they're even trying to do that should be crazy. What kind of blocks are those down there?
Hold on, let me do this.
The fact that they're even doing that is crazy, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna make you a pick. So you a pick and some shovels, a couple picks.
You know, that should be the farthest thing from freaking that anybody should even be able to do is stuff like that. But yet they're still able to do it.
Yeah, and they're doing it because it's a relic.
All the time.
They're doing it because it's a relic of the Confederacy, right? Remember I was telling you about Jim Crow?
Yeah.
Jim Crow laws. Do you remember the pictures of like the white only and black only, colored only, like drinking fountains?
Yeah.
And okay, and they had to like, okay, so that was a relic of the Confederacy, right? Before that, it was the literacy tests. Do you know what that is?
No.
So in southern states, they had special tests that you had to pass to make sure that you were capable of voting, that you were competent for voting. So the way these tests were worded, it was such that like there were like multiple ways of answering it that were correct, that could be correct.
Yeah.
Because it was ambiguous. It all depended on what the test giver wanted.
Well, yeah, what they wanted. So if one person picked the other one, they'd be like, nope, it was this one because the other one was obviously right too.
Yeah. But because the real test was, what color are you? And if you're the wrong color, there's no way you can pass the test.
Yeah, you're gonna fail anyway.
So yeah,
you're just gonna pick the opposite answer.
So this is a manifestation of the Confederacy, right? A way of defying the Constitution, which is your right to vote. Right? This is our ideal as Americans, because as Americans, we believe in ideals. That's what makes us awesome. That's what makes us like the coolest thing in the world. Is that we are people that believe so strongly in ideals that we fight for them. that we fight. So yeah, the Confederacy doesn't want this. They believe so in the opposite. They do not want these ideals. They think, no, dude, the only thing that's real is power. So they're absolutely opposite of us. So so uh so yeah, I mean it's just so it's there because like it's been hidden, right? It only has come out so blatant now because this is their last chance. So this is kind of like the apocalypse, I guess. The apocalypse. Like this is like like the last boss before our transformation. Do you remember I told you about our transformation?
Yeah, vaguely. I think I remember.
So
You just see a lot of this stuff happening recently, and it happens so like it, and it's just like where did it come from? You know, like it never used to happen like this. And now you just see all
no,
these people
dude,
just like.
it's always been
Well, you know
happening.
what it is? It's just because there's social media now, and now it's more prevalent, and you can actually get out there and kind of see it. You know.
Yeah, it's because it's always been there. It's always,
It's
always,
the same
always
thing,
been there.
It's the same thing like with Sarah and them. Like they're always sitting there and like they're like, well, we gotta watch the kids. And nowadays, there's crazy people out there. It's like no, there was crazy people out there when I was around. And they're like, no, well, you didn't never seen any of these people getting taken and all that. It's like no, they got took. It's just if you didn't watch the news, you didn't hear it. Nowadays
Yeah.
you can see it on the news and you can so I was like
It's everywhere.
It's the same thing. It's just nowadays you can see it more, so you're more aware of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I notice stuff like
So
that.
it's like the way I look at it,
more aware.
I liken it to like a nervous system. That we have a social nervous system. Like, okay, the way that the human body has a nervous system, like information doesn't just get instantly from the brain to whatever. Like, okay, so your toe, you're walking and you stub your toe, but how does that play out for real? Okay, so you're walking, you're
It's like a Saturday night and like I get like 90 drinks in me.
Okay, but wait, no, you can't. No, too much meat, because then you're numb. So no, it can't be numb. So it's just,
trust me.
it's late at night. You're sleepy. It's dark, right? And you're walking, and you gotta go pee. So you get up and you start walking, and you stub your toe on the counter, or not the counter, on the corner of the door or whatever. Okay, so what happens actually? What actually happens is that your toe contacts the door frame corner with extreme pressure. This like triggers nerves inside your toe to like register, like, wow, there's a lot of pressure coming in, like, so it fires off these chemicals, and this chemical races down the arm of the nerve, which hits another nerve and then triggers that one and races down its arm, triggers another nerve all the way up your leg, right, all the way up till it hits the bottom of your spinal cord. Then it goes all the way up your spinal cord to your brain, where your brain takes this information and goes, hey, this says ouch. Okay. Or this says brrr. I will interpret that as saying ouch. So then the brain goes, boom, ouch. Then your brain sends a message back down to your toe, down your thing, all the way down to say, pull away. So then your leg goes, blah. I mean, it goes faster because of reflexes, but anyways, you get the picture. That's like
You missed the part, sir. After it freaking hits your head and it's on its way back down, it's stopped by the crotchal area, and that's when you urinate on yourself while you're on the way to the bathroom. But then it finishes going down to your toe. And then you're like, no! And it just happens at the same time, and you pee all over yourself.
You lose bladder control, that extreme pain, wow.
It makes a little quick stop by the bladder area, and you keep going, and then it keeps going down to the toe.
Okay, so I was talking about earlier how the Emancipation Proclamation took 2.5 years to go from President Lincoln's desk to Texas. So 2.5 years after Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, there were still slaves working in Texas until word came down. They got a message that oh, you guys are free now. You're not slaves anymore. You're Americans. You're free. 2.5 years later, because information took that long to travel. Right?
So after it happened, they were told 2.5 years later?
Yes. It took that long for information to spread from Washington, D.C. to Texas.
Jeez.
So that was back in, 1860s, 1850s? All right.
When did the phones and all that come out and all that?
Not until, 1930s, 40s. So...
Back then, what were they doing? No telegraphs or anything like that either? I have no idea.
Yeah, telegraphs. I mean, okay, you had telephones probably in 1920s. But before that, it was telegram.
Oh, yeah.
And before telegram, it was courier. You send a message, literally.
God. Who knows if that even gets there? Anybody that's played Fallout knows that. Couriers always get taken out.
So, yeah. So, exactly, right? That's, the Pony Express?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, right. They would cross the whole nation on horseback to deliver messages, mails. So...
Like, what do you want? You want 10-day freaking delivery? It's free 10-day delivery. 2-day back then. Nope.
Yeah. So now information travels and then the next block was, all right, great. Then we got telephone and radio and TV, but those were mainly transmission or reception only. You can only receive. You can't transmit, right? So the gatekeepers, the people who are rich, controlled the gates of information.
I had heard about that, so they put a lot of stuff on the TV. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they controlled what was on TV and what you saw and what you heard and tailored the information to what they wanted. Then the internet happened, and that's when things got crazy, because then the gatekeepers couldn't control the information as much anymore.
I can still remember when my dad came home and he had the computer and he brought the AOL thing home, and it was like, you do the dial-up, like nobody knows about that nowadays.
Oh yeah, the modem. Oh yeah.
Dial-up, and then I went, and I remember I used to use Alta Vista.
Yeah. Yep, I remember. I used Prodigy. I was on the BBSs before that. Before we had internet, there were the BBSs.
What is the BBS?
It was like a local guy set up a call-in service. So you dial in with your modem, you call his phone number with your computer to log into his computer. It's only one person at a time, and then it's sort of like a web page. So you could do limited email, and you can look at a message board, and then you can connect to a larger message board. I forgot the name of it, but there was a larger message board that was on the internet, but it only came in packages. So the package would go out every time at midnight. So you'd write your messages and you'd read the new messages, and then you have to wait till the packages exchange at midnight, and then you can look at the refresh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then they had BBS games like that. So they had door games. They called them door games. So you would play these games against other players, and then against other BBSs who played the same game. So
yeah, BBS.
So yeah, it was like the proto internet. It was great.
Nice. Yep, I've been through all that. It's hilarious. Feels weird.
So
phone, or was it pager?
But yeah, but now we have instant communication. So the thing is that information travels really fast. It's like having a nervous system. So I think it's great. It's an evolution, right? We've evolved. We've leveled up. We have a nervous system now. We can coordinate our actions with this nervous system, the way we can coordinate muscles. And the action we need to coordinate is voting. So I need you to vote, my friend, my cousin, my family. You absolutely effing must. You have to. You must.
As far as me getting everybody else to vote, that's a hard one.
Well, see, that's your duty. That's the right time for you to become the inspirational leader. I have to I'm trying to show you my vision of America, but you have to have your vision of America. You have to be able to see for you what America has done for you. Why would you even bother fighting for this place? Think of your ancestors too. Don't forget, right? Think of why would they have fought for all of this? And to help out is so easy. It's just to vote. I mean, for us, it's easy. And I know it's a lot harder for others. We need to fight to help others to have an easier time to vote. because it shouldn't be so hard for them to vote.
Yep. Nope, I hear you. I always vote. Sarah always votes, but usually mom doesn't vote.
Oh man, well it's probably, is it too late for her to register in California?
No, she's registered.
She should go, man. You should help her. You should
Should
like
she?
encourage her,
Yeah.
drive her, teach her about the things, help her participate, be part of it, because that's what it is. She needs to be part of
She's
something
probably not
bigger.
gonna give your vote.
Huh?
The type of vote that you want.
Well, that's all right. It doesn't. She doesn't have to. I just want her in, right? I want her
No,
in the
I
process.
trust me, I tell her to do the votes, but
Really? So she's not on board, right? That's weird. That's odd.
she just doesn't do it anymore. She's kind of the same kind of.
Well, she's probably disillusioned, and you know what that is? That's the
She gets
Russians.
to the same point to where she just kind of gets to the same point to where it's like me, where like all this fighting and all this stuff is ridiculous, and then she gets. To the
She
point
doesn't
where,
know where to
she's like,
stand.
yeah, I could care less. She's like, fuck it then.
Yeah, it causes too much strife, and she doesn't want to deal with it. I understand, right? It does cause disharmony. It does. It causes a lot of strife. But I mean, I don't know. I understand, and I respect her choice if she chooses different than me. I would like to talk to her about it, but that's the thing, right? That like, I don't know. It's like a.
I'm gonna make you some of this. Yeah, I know. Hey, give me a second.
It's a delicate
Hey.
thing. Yeah.
Give me a second.
What else do I got here? I need more coffee. Oh yeah, my story. So here, okay, I want to continue my thoughts on the refugee caravan coming up from Central America and South America. Okay, with a story that I learned in Japan. I might have told you the story again, but now it's relevant again, so I can tell it. And then I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
So.
All right, I've heard this one. Don't worry about it.
Good. Hear it again. Once upon a time, there was a super evil guy. He was a common thief. He was really bad. I forgot his name. We'll call him George. Once upon a time, there was this really evil common thief named George, and he was bad. and when he died, like all bad people, he went to Buddhist hell, which is a deep, deep hole. You just fall down, 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 super far deep. It gets darker and darker and darker. Down, 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 down.
Fall?
Like you literally fall. Yeah. Fall down into like deep, 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 down to the like so deep, dark, it's like ridiculous. Fall, 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 then until you finally hit the bottom. And there's all these other lost souls down there with you. They're all blind. Everyone's blind, starving, and like they're all evil. So they're all like terrible, right? With other monsters, right? And you can't die any more than you're dead, right? So like it's pretty bad. Anyways, meanwhile, back up in Nirvana, there's Buddha chilling out, la, in the eternal garden, la. And Buddha's just strolling along, chilling, because life is beautiful. Because it's beautiful, creation is beautiful. And along comes this little tiny little spider, and the spider says, "Buddha, Buddha," and Buddha stops and goes, "Hey, what's up, spider? What's up, spider bro?" And Spider Bro goes, "Hey Buddha, let me tell you something." And Spider Bro tells Buddha about the time when Georgie was running from the cops. And George was about to step on the spider. And George is like, "Oh, I see you, little spider, but I'm not going to step on you this time. Ha ha ha." And so he moved his foot just a little bit so he didn't crush the spider. So the spider said, "Hey, because Georgie did this thing for me, can I try to help him out?" And Buddha's like, "Sure, yeah, totally, absolutely, yes, yes." Okay, so this little tiny spider took his little like celestial silk, like spun a little web, or not a web, but he's a tiny little spin of silk, and he gave it to Buddha. And then Buddha lowered it down all the way down into hell, into the Buddhist hell, all the way down to the darkness, all the way down, It's a little shimmering, like shimmering thread in the darkness. And then so it goes all the way to the bottom. And then so George is down there, like in hell, with all these other guys. And he looks and he's like, what? And he sees this shimmering thread, like from heaven down into the darkness. He's like, no way, I can't believe this. So he's like, I don't know, I guess I'll try. So he grabs it and starts climbing up, and it doesn't break. And he's like, that's amazing. This thing was like light and airy, but it doesn't break. That's amazing. I can't believe this. And it's so far up there. It's so far to climb, but he's gonna try to do it. What else is he gonna do, right? Otherwise, you have to to get up. Otherwise, you have to build you have to do like a bunch of work and like build staircases out of like deeds to climb out, and it takes forever. So, anyways, he's like shimmering up this golden this shimmering thread of compassion. He's shimmering up. And he's going up, and it's gonna take him forever, but he's doing it. He's trying to do it. And then he's going up there, and he turns around and he looks, and he sees all the other evil, terrible demon or like lost soul people in hell. They're starting to see it, what he's doing, and so they start shimming up the thread behind him. Right? And so like he's already way up there, and he looks behind him and he sees there's a bunch of people already on his thread with him. And so he starts panicking. And he's like, and so he turns around and he looks down at him, and he says, hey, you guys, get off my thread. This is for me only. You guys are going to break it. This is only for me. Get off. When he says that, the whole thread breaks, and everyone falls back into hell. George and everyone else fall back into hell. And that's the end of the story. When I think about the caravan, I think about how awesome we are to live in America, how lucky we are to live here. Like, I was born here. Like, I'm so lucky to be born here. Oh man, I've been around, right? I'm super lucky to live here. Like, with no parasites in me, that's amazing. Like, with water I can drink from the tap, that's amazing. I don't have to buy bottled water. What? Oh, like my food isn't poison? Really? Oh, that's amazing. Like, when I go to the store, there's things in it. Oh, like, you guys don't know. People don't know how it could be. Like, we have to maintain this. We have to guard this.
There's this one company that I saw this morning that's making a machine that makes clean drinking water out of just freaking like the moisture in the air. But it does it from like wood chips. And I think it does it for the cost of like 2 cents a day or 2 cents a gallon or something like that. It's something crazy. And they use wood chips to create moisture and all that, and then that moisture creates kind of like a rainforest, and then it freaking gets water. Pretty awesome looking.
Yeah, I mean, I believe humans are great. We're really innovative. And if we, like, here's the transformation. Here's what they're trying to stop. They want a pyramid structure, right? Only a pyramid structure, where they're at the top, and they want to stop history right there. What America wants to do is it wants to fulfill its destiny, which is e pluribus unum, out of many one, which is we're gonna make a multi-racial, multi-ethnic society. With no one dominant ethnic or racial group. No one group is dominant. Everyone has to work together. That's the way America is supposed to be. And we're at the moment now where they can't stop it. This is their last chance to stop it, which is why they're coming out as Nazis and Confederates and evil people. It's because this is their last chance. After this, there won't be enough racist white people to do it.
Yeah, to actually make a difference. It'll just kind of die out with them.
And then, okay, now, what does that mean when you win when they lose? When they lose and we win, what does that mean? That means we can unlock America's potential. Like, this is what Americans don't get. Like, we are wasting ridiculous amounts of our energy right now. And if we can like all this potential, like this idea that you just talked about, pulling water out of the air, like we can do this if we take care of Americans. Just take care of like the basic necessities of Americans. Americans will do this by themselves because of the joy of living, the joy of being American, of being free. When you're free, you just naturally like, and you're free to see and express virtue, it'll just pop out. It'll be, it's awesome. And so what do you need to do that? Well, you need to take care of people, take care of humans. The Confederate Republican way of thinking is take care of your in-group only, which is like white people or Christians only. You know, they're quote in-group. That's like fascist thinking. But a more socialist or more liberal way of thinking is take care of all humans. Like they're like human is your in-group. Humans are in your in-group. Nationality, race, religion doesn't matter. It's the human. If you're a human, you're in. You're in with us, and we'll take care of you. So if we take care of everyone's human needs, which is their health care, their food, their shelter, their education, if we pay for that and take care of that and cultivate that, humans will naturally like create better, awesome things, because that's what we do. We just mess with stuff and make better things. And that's what evolution is. You just mess with stuff. It's forced evolution, basically. Because evolution's on accident. and innovators break things on purpose.
I hear ya.
I mean, I'm gabbing a lot, but like,
no,
man,
it's all good.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I hope I'm making sense to you.
You are, but like you said, I just freaking anything that deals with like government and that type of stuff, I'm always very weary of.
Yeah, you should be. I mean, not you should be. I mean, I guess. I mean, you should be very proud of your government. Is what I'm saying, because like, yeah, there's a lot of corruption, but the benefit of our system is that we can see it. It's transparent enough that you can put sunshine on it. And when you put sunshine on it, it disinfects. You see the corruption, it burns away. Like right now, it feels real bad because the corruption has been covered up by government. But who controls government? The GOP. They're covering up their own corruption. All the Democrats have to do is win one chamber of the government. If they win the House, they get subpoena power. Subpoena power compels people to testify or go to jail, and Trump can't pardon you. So that will reveal a lot of the corruption. When you reveal it, that's sunshine. It burns it away, right? Transparency. Corruption thrives in the dark when you cannot see what happens. That's why Trump doesn't want to show you his taxes, because it's dark. Corruption thrives in the dark. He's corrupt. If we shine a light on Trump, it will burn him away because he's corrupt. Shine a light on me, dude. Go ahead. Like, I might have my bad spots, and it's cool. But, like, I'm not nearly as bad as Trump. Like, I mean, go ahead and poke my eye. I'm poking my eye right now.
Don't shine the light directly in my eyeball. I don't.
So I have specks in my eye, but there's a gigantic, like, money laundering speck in plank in Trump and in the GOP. But yeah, I need coal.
I
Man.
don't know.
What don't you know, man? So you think like you distrust government? I get that, but you can't believe that all government is bad. I mean,
No, of course not. Just like, I mean, of course not.
So like, that's what I don't get. Like, how can I help you to
I
understand?
just kind of let them weed themselves out, I guess. But maybe that's what I guess I say, you know, which it kind of sucks to say, but like, since I can't kind of figure it out, I just kind of hope that the good people do good stuff, and that the bad people kind of get caught up in it, you know.
But see, the only thing that evil needs to win is for good people to do nothing. That's what evil needs to do to win. That's all they need to do to win, is for good people to do nothing.
Yeah, I hear it. I don't know.
What
Like
don't
I
you
said,
know?
it's the same thing we always go over. Like, there's just so much more for me to do than to have to worry about government. You know, I just kind of hope that it kind of weeds itself out and just does its own thing. You know.
Okay,
and then when I
but
hear
you do
stuff,
vote,
I do
though.
like most people, and like, yeah, I vote, but then I hear and it's just,
Are you? But you're demoralized, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, so that's why I want to come back to the Russian thing.
There's probably never been one time where I haven't voted. I've always voted.
Okay, and that's excellent. And you should probably get your mom to vote too. You need to get your mom to vote. New voters are like the best.
I've been talking to her. I told her the other day and all that because I heard her.
But let's go back to the Russian things, because to me that's a sticking point. That really like sticks in my craw. Like, I can't stand that that Russia has taken the White House. I can't stand that loss of sovereignty. Like, it just kills me.
But see, and then I always hear you say that, and I'm just kind of like, oh, I guess I don't see it.
Yeah. You don't see it.
The reason I don't see it is because, like I said, like, I'm not into it like you are, you know. So I don't go looking for this stuff. I don't sit here and I don't listen to the sites that talk about it. You know, I just don't do anything. Like, I hear it in passing as I'm going through the front room, maybe if they're watching it, you know, and then that's it.
So what station do they watch? Do they watch Fox?
No, they kind of watch a little bit of everything. I think. I haven't seen them watch Fox in forever. The only time we used to watch Fox was like morning time stuff.
Fox and Friends.
That was usually for the stupid shenanigans, you know, when they get all the people, the morning show hosts, and try to make it funny.
Yeah, the Fox and Friends. Those are the bad guys. Those are the worst. They're the ones who put on the bad ideas.
I couldn't really tell you who they watch. I just, like I said, I walk by, and if I hear it, I hear it. A lot of them, I know a lot of the stuff when I hear it is from the freaking Catholic channel. Like, they have their own EWTN has their own, like, news thing. Yeah. So they always have it, you know, like, news for a Catholic lifestyle, something like that, you know? Catholics,
yeah. The Pope just came out saying that it's a moral imperative to stop climate change. Did you hear that?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, the Pope came out.
See, this is the thing too. Like, I see, like, I understand that too, but like, I just see these people looking at, like, government people looking at the Pope, just kind of like, eh.
Government people?
Like, just any type of government, just kind of like, eh, mind your own business, you know. Just kind of. Did you fall?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I put
it's my fault
right now for a reason.
I made the hole and then I went in it.
I didn't want to fall, because I didn't want to fall, so. I gotta go in like 5 minutes. I gotta make some eggs.
Well, no, I mean, I mean, it's good to know that there's such a level of distrust for government, but
But see, with me, it's not even just government. It's just, like I said, it's just power structure. It's just like just like anything, you know. Like, it could go for the, you know, police officers, you know, when you give cops too much power, I see the corruption that happens. You know, it goes with anything like that. I don't want to just say it's government. It's just government, yeah, but, like, you know, anything that has to deal with, yeah, humans in general, that where you give them power, they sit there, you know, and they take it, and they, you know, at the beginning, sure, they may want to do good things, but after a while, you know, you get to that point where, you know, I've seen the cops that are sitting there like, you know, well, you can't do this, and then this person's like, well, no, I can do it because it's my right, and the cop's like, no, you can't do it because I said I need you to go, you know, and then this cop's gonna sit here and try to be like, well, you need to go because I said so, and I'm the law, you know. I've seen stuff like that before.
I am the law.
Plenty of times, trust me, you know, and like, it's just, the only reason he's saying that is because he's a cop, and he knows that this guy doesn't do what he says, he's gonna F the guy over and either give him a ticket or arrest him, you know, he's gonna ruin, you know, he's gonna F him over, you know, and I see that all the time, and I think, oh, God, that has to do with a lot of stuff. I just think power. What is the one thing that the power
corrupts?
Yeah, like
absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, and I totally believe in that, like 100%. Like, it's just it's just so hard when you get.
Okay. Well, now you're okay. Good. So let's address corruption. Like, we know that power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. How do we? That's why we have, like, a democracy, so we can, if corruption takes hold of someone, we can get rid of them.
Yeah.
All right. Now the problem is, like, we can see that Mitch McConnell is, like, totally corrupt, and that Donald Trump is totally corrupt, right? But he was voted into office. Like, how does that happen? Like,
well, that's the scare tactic thing, I believe, right? Like, everybody nowadays, you know, things were rough. Nobody had jobs. People didn't have stuff, and then they saw that, and then they moved in on the, you know, well, you know, it's a huge part of the election, I believe, was was the immigration stuff, you know, having to deal with that, you know, them going, oh well, they're taking your jobs and this is happening, that, you know, and then people kind of latched onto it. Yeah. And then people, what do they call it? Xenophobism? What is it? What is the xenophobism or something like that?
Yeah, well, fear of outsiders. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then they say that, and then people see it, and they go, well, you know what? And like I said, people are having a rough time, and people go, well, you know what? Shit, I don't have this right now. You know, there's a reason why, and you know, and then they hear this over and over again, you know, and then it just kind of gets stuck in their head, you know, and then that's how it goes. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Just leave her alone. She's fine.
Well,
I just think that's how a lot of that stuff happened. Is just they kind of got people scared and kind of told people the type of information that they knew would get them their votes, and then that's what happened, you know.
yeah, well, I can't talk to them like those guys at the corner the other day. Like they wouldn't listen to me at all, and they had totally opposite information. Like that's the problem. It's not just
the information that they're fed also
is opposite. Yeah, totally opposite.
But that's the thing, right? Like they don't know that they're getting that opposite information.
No, they don't.
They're listening to something and they're just like, well, this is legit, and then these people are telling them something, then they hear you say it and they're like, well, if this guy's telling me I'm wrong, why can't I tell him that he's wrong? You know, that's exactly what they're saying.
Well, yeah,
like,
and
well,
then
if I'm wrong, why wouldn't you be? You know, so.
Well, then that assumes that there's no such thing as truth.
It just, well, and then they honestly, like, again, this is where it comes, like, they don't want to be wrong, so I don't really think they kind of care. That's when they kind of just start blowing you off. Did it get to that point where they just blew you off after a while?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, oh yeah.
It gets to the point where they're like, you know what, like, I kind of see what this person may be saying, but like, I don't want to sit here and argue over this. I just want to kind of come out here and do what I'm doing, so they kind of
be right.
blow you off, you know? Yeah, they just kind of blow you off, and that's kind of what it always gets to. I don't know. I just think we should just give everybody $1 million.
Yeah.
I was gonna say some other stuff, but we'll go ahead.
Yo, $1 million, that's
hard,
a great start.
everybody.
That's a great start, $1 million.
About, like the income thing and all that. Like, what is it? Where you give everybody income so they can kind of do what they want to.
Universal basic income.
Yeah, universal basic income.
I was thinking about that. Like, the problem I thought might be that everyone would just raise the rent accordingly.
Oh, you think because they know everybody has money, so they're gonna be like, well, this person has money now, so.
Yeah, so I'll just charge them more money.
Or instead of going to get a hot dog for $1 now, it like, you know, somewhere like it's gonna be like $4 or $5 because they know you got money.
Well, no, not the hot dog, but literally rent.
Just like places to live and all that.
Yeah.
Why just rent though?
Because yeah, you have no choice. You gotta have somewhere to live.
I guess so, because yeah, if you don't have to buy that $4 hot dog, you can find something cheaper. But yeah, if you're gonna do the rent, like, kind of have to have somewhere to live. I was like, last night was crazy. We were outside in the front, or Sarah was smoking, and some dude just walked right up to her, and this fool was wearing a cut-up towel that he had, or cut-up shirt that he had around his head like a bandana. But instead of putting it over just his mouth, he had it over his forehead, and then he cut holes in it, so his whole face was covered.
So it's like a mask.
Yeah, it was like a mask, and the dude was asking. He said he didn't have a job and all this stuff, and he needed like clothes and like food and all that. So
yeah, that was like that's intimidation, dude. That's a.
Well, well, I think it was more so as I think it was kind of he was pretty embarrassed, and I don't think he wanted kind of people to see his face, because he was clearly homeless, and you know, he had the whole thing on and all that, and like I've seen it before out here a lot. You see the people that hold the signs on the corner that cover half their face, you know, like they're like, you know, need money and all that, you know, but they don't want to show their face. So yeah, he came by, and then we gave him some food and some stuff and all that, and like he was pretty appreciative. Almost sounded like he was crying too, and he, you know, it's kind of that thing where he's like, you know, I appreciate what you guys are doing. You didn't have to do this kind of stuff, you know.
Well, that's nice. Well,
and then before
I'm paranoid. I'm like, oh, you've been telling me stories about how scary it is down there.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is, you know, that's pretty crazy. That's what Sarah said when she saw the guy walking up. She's kind of like, what the hell, you know? And then the guy asked. And then like a week ago, we were sitting here. and there was some younger girl who walked up to the door, and she literally just asked for $1 out of nowhere. Like, she just came up to the door and like asked, like, "Do you guys have $1?" And we're like, "What?" And my mom's like, "No." And she's like, "Do you need anything?" And the girl's like, "Well, I need to get home. I don't have any money." And we're like, "Well, are you okay?" Because you know those things where it looks like something's wrong, but you don't know, and like she just looked like flustered, and we were like, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" She's like, "No, I just need to get home." And we're like, at first we weren't gonna give it to her, but then we're like, "Nah, like let's give it to her, just be safe, you know." So we were like, "Are you sure you're okay? Like we can call someone right now if you need to." And she's like, "No, I don't want to. I don't need to call anybody." No, I'm talking about the girl.
Man, that's weird. That's weird.
And like I gave, you know, she was like, "Do you know how much a bus is to get to Long Beach?" And I was like, "I don't know." So instead of giving her $1, I gave her $5, and I was like, "Here, this should be more than enough to get out there. Just, you know, get out there safe, and, you know, just be careful." And like, she was just like, "Okay," and then she left. But we're like, "Dude, like that's crazy. Like that stuff happening, and it's been happening more and more lately. Like weird stuff like that."
Yeah, because people are getting more and more desperate because our economy is effed up.
Yeah.
So this is the Gilded Age. So okay, so get ready, dude. Like history doesn't repeat; it spirals. All right. Like, do you know? Like Grandma can tell you, this has happened. So basically, we're coming up to the point of the spiral where we're just before the Great Depression. Like this is like the Roaring 20s, where the stock market's high, the rich people are making tons of money, but
everybody else isn't.
But the core is like rotted. So do you know what they call it? The Gilded Age, the Roaring 20s. Do you know what it means to be gilded?
Like gifted or like granted?
No, gilded. Gild. G-I-L-D.
Oh. Isn't gilded like shiny or something like that?
Yeah, covered with a thin coat of gold.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because I was watching some girl and they were gilding something the other day, and they had like this character and they put this like thin sheet over it, and then they like do something to where it like sticks to it. And it was crazy, and it like makes this whole character like, I don't know, it looked crazy. It was just like an action figure, and she gilded it. I was like, what the heck?
So you put a thin coat of gold on something.
Yeah, it's like a thin metallic, like it was almost like a goldish metallic piece of paper that she laid on it, and then she did something, and it like just stuck to the character, and then it just was like, it looked exactly like the character with detail and everything, but it was just gold now, and I had like this gold thin paper over it. Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, okay.
So.
All right, no, wait. This is the next thing. So the Gilded Age, in referencing the Roaring 20s, is talking about how, like, the rich were making tons of money with the roaring big stock market and everything, but that was just the appearance. If you look at the core of America at that time, it was terrible for the worker. The working conditions were awful. I mean, the workers were like suffering big time. They had no weekends, they had no days off, no sick days, they had no child protection, so kids were working in factories. They had no safety measures, so kids were getting mangled. They're working in factories, getting mangled in machines, and then tossed off to the side because they had no like social security.
Yeah. Nothing,
so then they're begging on the streets, right? And these are, and like, oh my God, it was awful what was happening. The food that people were eating was like terrible. The meat, it was mixed with rats and the rat feces. So people were eating rat feces and rats mixed with their sausages. Like, yeah, no joke, dude.
Prime sausages are delicious.
So this is the 1920s, but on the outside, if you're rich, oh, things are great. Look at this awesome stock market. Look at this nice car I have, this automobile that I bought. These new automobiles things that are coming out. Look at this great mansion I have. Like, whoopee! Let's all do the flapper dance and stuff, you know. And then when all that crashed, then the gilding came off, and you saw what was underneath, which is like misery. You had, that's when you had the Great Depression. Well, that's where we're heading to now, guys. We have this gigantic stock market, yeah, wages aren't keeping up, and
nope. They are.
all this debt, and we're getting, our treasury is getting raided by Donald Trump. That's why he did all these tax breaks for the rich, and he's paying for them with debt, which we have to pay back.
Yeah.
So he's raiding the treasury is what he's doing. Is what corrupt leaders do. They raid the treasury. That's what he's doing. Raiding the treasuries for his cronies. We have to get him out, man. Oh my God, we got to get him out.
You got 2 more years.
No,
I'm telling you, I told you at the beginning.
We're gonna see.
Anything happening.
We're gonna see. Like, Mother's been quiet, but after the election's over, I think Mother's gonna start dropping more indictments, and his corruption and his complacence. The thing is, you don't believe me when I say Russia. You don't believe me, and I hate it. But
it's just because I don't, it's just hard to kind of see that, Like when you say Russia, I always just think of Russia,
No, you can't see the
Russia
mafia. You can't see how Trump is corrupt by the mafia.
I mean, I see how he's the D-bag, but like, I mean, as far as money, I think anybody that has money is corrupt like that. It's not.
So you think Trump? Do you think Obama worked with Russia to undermine America for his own benefit? You think
No,
Obama
I mean,
did
I
that?
don't see that. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I don't see. I just don't see. Like when you don't physically see it, like, I don't know. It's just hard. Like I just. Like, I mean, maybe, like, I don't know, like, when you say Russia, I always just think of, like, the whole of Russia, like, as a whole, you think of, like, war, like, type stuff like that.
Yeah, you think of, like, tanks and missiles and nuclear war,
yeah, like,
Red
every
Command.
time you say Russia doing this, like, I'm always just like,
Yeah, because you've been conditioned to think of war in only those terms.
Yeah,
All of
as
America
one
has
type
been.
of thing, exactly.
Yeah.
And like when I hear it, I'm just kind of like, really? Like, is it really that bad? Like, but again, like, I'm not into it, so like, what I see is like nothing,
Yeah, but look around you though, right? You can see that. I mean,
I can definitely see things aren't good and all that.
yeah, and do you feel the hate rising?
You can definitely like, even like, it's just ridiculous how it's gotten over just the past couple years.
Yeah, so the hate is rising.
It's more aggressiveness is what it is, it's way more aggressive. Like, with people doing, like, you would never see marches and all that, people doing that with like swastikas and all that, but now it's kind of like you would see it all the time.
What? Do you see it all the time? I hope not.
Well, no, but when you see marches, you wouldn't see it that often, like it's something that you wouldn't see. Like these people would sit there and do marches or all that. Like I never really heard about them having like these marches, when they have the tiki torches and all this shit. Like they never really did that before, right?
Yeah, I know they didn't,
wasn't
because
as prevalent, and nowadays you see it more.
Because they
like
would cover their faces.
Yeah, it's just they're getting more emboldened. Yeah, and that's the thing too, right? Is you see people saying this stuff, and then now you see people putting them on blast with, they're like, well, I'm just gonna record you and not do anything and just let society take care of you, and and that's what's been happening, which is great.
Yeah.
But like it's just these people, like just the, like 20, like not even that, like just a couple years ago, these people wouldn't be saying that to these, to these people. They wouldn't be saying to these black people to their face, dropping these bombs and all that. Like,
yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. It just wouldn't be recorded, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Black people have been enduring terrorism forever.
I guess,
just
yeah,
no one believes them.
You don't see it as again.
Yeah, no one believed them, but it's been happening to them forever.
Yeah, all right, I'll just rephrase it. Like it's something that I wouldn't see that often. Like I would hear about it, but it's not something that you would see. And nowadays, like, you can go on the freaking internet and see like a video. I'm not kidding you, like once a week. You got the one dude that was sitting there tripping on the one guy because the one was that the black driver didn't want to freaking turn on the radio. The guy asked to turn on the radio, and the driver's like, nah. And then the dude started just going crazy on him. Dude called the cops and started like freaking out and all that.
I don't know what is this. I haven't heard this. I don't watch videos really.
I saw it a couple days. This one dude, it was a dude, and he came from a bar. He's a gay guy, but it doesn't matter. He was a gay or white dude, and he came from the bar, and he got in this black guy's car, and the guy's the Uber, and he's like, take me here, and then he asked the dude to turn on the radio, and the driver was like, he just said no, I mean, it's up to the driver, and like the dude started going crazy, like, what do you mean you know? And he's like, I just don't want to turn on the radio, and like he started going off, and then he started to do the whole, you're this and that, dropping the bombs, and just going crazy. started calling the cops.
What?
The thing where he called the cops and he's like, yeah, this guy, then he started to be like, and then he started to hear him do the whole thing like, well, now I'm feeling kind of, like this guy's sitting here doing this and that, and I'm feeling kind of threatened and this and that, and you start to hear it all, and you're like, oh God, this guy's trying to escalate, and the driver is cool as hell,
Mm-hmm.
and this dude is just dropping bombs, like N bombs left and right, and I was just
Wow.
like, dude, this guy is so awesome. And he did it, showed it, and then what happened the next day? I think the guy was he was like an EMT driver or something like that. He went to go pick people up. Dude got fired. I was like, awesome. That's what you get. Like freaking idiots. And it happens all the time nowadays. Like the woman where the kid bumped into her. Did you see that where he touched her? She said he grabbed her ass.
Yeah.
Like, come on now, dude. Like how often? I mean, not to say that it doesn't happen, but how many times, how often do you know a freaking 9-year-old just walk by someone and grab their ass? I'm not gonna say that it doesn't happen.
Hey,
but come on now.
Do you know who Emmett Till is? So I don't have the date in mind. I just remember the name and a little bit of the story. But he was a kid from out of town, from the north. He was a black kid from out of town. Went down south to visit his family, to stay with his family. And he wasn't used to the South, right? So he went to the South to visit his family. He walked down to the store and like said hello to a white woman or something. And that white woman went and lied and said that this guy raped her or something. So a mob came by and like lynched him, killed him. And just got away with it. Like no one said anything. So just a bunch of white people came and murdered some black kid from out of town for no reason because some white woman lied. And she admitted she lied later on her deathbed. She admitted that she lied. So yeah, they just murdered some out of town black kid. This kind of thing has been going on forever, dude. Like I'm glad, yeah, we see it now because of technology and we're shocked. But this is always going on for black people. Like this is nothing new. It was like, oh man, they are so denied all their rights. And so as an American, yeah, you're disgusted. You should be disgusted because this is opposite of what the ideal of being an American is. Like we all deserve to have rights and we all deserve to have respect. I mean, that's just disrespectful to be doing that to people.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm with you, man. But I believe there are good people. I believe there's a lot of good people.
I do
and
too,
in government especially. See, I know that you're distrustful of government, but I know that government, there's a lot of good people.
I just don't like it. And then, like I said, like it's too much for me to kind of deal with. So I just kind of sit here and I kind of do like I think what most people do and just be like, I just hope that these people, the good people, do the good fight, and then I'll just try to do my part, as far as voting goes, and that's it. I don't sit here and, I don't go out and petition and all of this kind of stuff, but I'll go out and vote. That's fine. But, like, I just kind of hope that the good people kind of do what they want, but it still doesn't help, stop me from just being like, I just think anything that deals with power is always going to have a lot of people corrupt on both sides, I think. I know that one side may be more prevalent, but I think both sides are both susceptible to it.
Well, that's why we have checks and balances.
But then you have to worry about those people that run that, are they corrupted? This, and this, It's like it's just the whole thing. Like you always have it, but then someone else is always running that branch, and you got to hope that person isn't what that other person is. Well, and that's the thing. Like it's always, it's always some person actually having to. It's always up to a person in order to sit here and set some sort of a precedent or a rule, right? Like it's just the way it is. And like, I don't know, like I said, like me just having that distrust, I always just wonder if that person's doing it for their best interest or this group's best interest or for like, as a whole,
I mean, I don't know. You gotta trust some humans, I guess.
Yeah, and like I said, I do, but like I just kind of, when it comes to government, I just kind of tend to let it.
It's like too much. I mean, so so what you do, so okay, that's what kind of brought me to the show, right? So what you do is you kind of offload that responsibility to someone else that you trust.
To somebody else, exactly.
And what you did, and that's what got me to do this whole thing is the very first time I talked to you, that person that you trusted was Joe Rogan. and that like blew my mind.
Not that I trusted him. It's just I hear what a lot of people say, and like I kind of hear what he's saying. Like I don't see him as like a far right person.
Yeah,
Like,
but you
I see some of the
repeating.
stuff that he thinks maybe, but not all of it. And that's the thing though too, right? Is he's a person, so how am I supposed to know that he's saying is genuine? I can't.
Like even more, yes, than like why him over than some like actual experts.
I just listen. I just like listening to him because he's an entertaining dude to kind of listen to.
Ah, yeah.
So like it kind of came as a whole, right? Like I kind of got into him through UFC, you know, like nothing to do with political stuff, just UFC. Heard he had a podcast that was really popular, got into it and listened to it. And he's a really funny dude to like be around. Yeah, I mean, have you listened to any of them?
No,
I mean,
but yeah, I know he's
super entertaining. And I mean, you know, he has a lot of awesome guests on there, and they, you know, a lot of times they, you know, talk about stuff, but like I personally don't see like what everybody would say is him being like a far right person. Or like I don't understand.
He gives a platform to them. That's the thing. So
okay, I see what
like,
you're trying to say.
Okay, do you know the acronym jacking off? JAQ. So that's just asking questions. This is what Sean Hannity does. This is what Alex Jones does. This is what all those right-wing people do.
Alex Jones is a crazy dude.
Yeah, this is what they all do, right?
Now, see, I love me some conspiracy theories, though. Those are so crazy.
Okay. But what they do is they put out stupid BS. The stupidest BS ever. And they couch it in a question, and that's how they do it. So that you don't have to ever address the fact that it's BS, because he's just asking questions. So, you know, and you can twist it to be really malicious. So it'd be like, what's Wave doing it? Well, the way they did it to Barack Obama, they'd be like, you know, is he really an American? You know, what if he is really a spy for a different country? What if he's really a secret Muslim? What if he really did this? What if he really did that? You know, just asking questions. You know.
They get people thinking, you mean?
Yeah, to put it in people's head. Put that idea in people's heads. Not even a real idea. Just asking stupid questions.
I guess some things I've heard him do that. Yeah. But, I mean, I guess so. I just see, but like, I don't know. I guess. But like, if that's the case, then you can't really do that with anything, right? Like, just asking questions wise.
Well, no. I mean, because if you're doing it in good faith, then you're trying to foster discussion to reveal truth, right? So like, yeah, you should ask questions. Ask questions like, so if I'm giving you something and you don't understand it, yeah, you should ask. You know, have me ask you a question. You're dying. You gotta eat something there, dude.
I know I don't have anything.
Again? I thought I gave you like half my stack of food.
I died somewhere.
Oh, that's right.
I'm dead. Oh no, I don't die. You can't die from that?
No.
Oh shit.
What? It's like 9:30. Are you alright?
Oh, yeah. I gotta go do cat food. Sorry.
Alright. Well, hey man, thanks for hanging out, and we'll have this discussion another time. Oh yeah, this is probably the last episode for season 1. So next time we come back, it's gonna be a different name. Anyways, you got to do your duty. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, America, for listening in and tuning in. Enjoy your Sunday morning. Peace.
All right, peace out there. All right, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go do these foods thing, and I forgot.
All right, yeah. See ya, Captain Phones. Thank you for hanging out. All right, America. Bye-bye. Peace.